Hi everyone, I'm Gio. I hope everyone's having the best blessed day that they could have today. Today is Monday, January 22nd. I've had an incredible week once again. Everything is going right on course, for how everything should go. Everything feels amazing. I feel so good, living in this life of recovery. Everything's went like extremely well. So some interesting things happened. When I went to church on Sunday, I went to church, my church service, and back in 2017, when I was in jail, 2017, I did a 7.5-month bid, and while I was there, I would attend the church services. So at that time, the person who did the church ministry there, it was probably maybe, my 6th, 7th, 8th time going to the service. It was every Monday. And I would go, I'd sit right up front. I would try to read, I tried to participate and stuff. But the lady came in that ran the ministry, and she handed me a Bible, and she said that the Lord wanted me to give this to you. So I took it, I said, thank you, So at that time, my brain was really jumbled, and I tried to read the Bible many different times, but I could never focus in, to read anything. I couldn't focus my thoughts. I had such a hard time with that, just because I was so all over the place with my life and everything, and I had no calmness to me, or no relax, in my mind, because I was just thinking about all the things that went wrong and just how troubled everything was. So my mind was very troubled. So I could never focus my thoughts in order to read the Bible, but I really wanted to. But so she gave me a Bible, and this Bible, it was titled The Battlefield of the Mind, and it was by Joyce Meyer. So I opened the cover, brand new Bible, and it said that the cost of it was $120, US $120, Canadian was whatever. But she just gave me this Bible and said that that the Lord wanted her to give it to me. So that was a pretty crazy thing, because this is someone who is, was at the time, because I wasn't where I'm at now, believing and everything, I knew how much that she, had her faith, and I knew how much she was involved. So for her to say that, obviously there had to have been something to that, for her to say that to me. So, but inside the Bible now, at the end of, like, every couple pages, it gave you, like, the topic, what they were trying to discuss, and, like, hot points and everything that they wanted you to learn. So I was able to read all those pages and kind of put together, the points that the Bible was trying to make. So when I actually could read those pages. So that was amazing for me, because I got basically, sort of the gist of what the Bible wanted you to learn, but I was able to actually read it, and actually focus my mind on it. So it was the perfect thing for me at that time. And, but she said that to me, and then, in talking and stuff, she told me that, the New Life Church on Protection Ave, she'd said that, that's where she goes to church, and if I want to go to church when I get out, I should come there. So she essentially invited me to church. I don't know what she's seen in me or why she said this to me, but it really meant something to me. It really truly meant, like, so much to me, and it really, like, got me started, on this path that I've been on since then, on this trajectory I've been on since then. So on Sunday, so when I picked my church, when I got out and everything, and I started going to church and stuff, I didn't really know where to go to church, but that was the one that I heard about. It was close enough that I could attend. So I went there, and for the first 5 times I went there, I didn't see her there, and so I didn't know if I had picked the right church. So then I tried other churches, and I didn't see her there, because I thought it must not be that church, but the past time when I was in jail, she no longer does the ministry, and nobody could remember her name, so I didn't know her name or anything, so I didn't know who to ask anybody or whatever. But so all that had happened, but I kept on wanting to go to, I wanted to see her, and I wanted to tell her, how much that impacted me, and I just wanted to think, because where I'm at now, and with my faith that I have now and everything, I wanted to let her know how big of a part that she played, you know what I mean, and in getting me here and stuff. I just wanted to thank her, because that was such a big thing that she did for me. So this week when I was at church, it's Sunday, I'm at church, my girlfriend went with me this time. She goes with me every other weekend, because she goes with her daughter, aside from that. But, so she brought me, we're there in church and everything, and they're singing, they're doing all the singing, they're performing on stage. They have a really good musical part of it, you know, where they have a few singers and piano player and guitar and they have drums, and they're amazing. They're really, really, really good, and it's really enjoyable, you know, to be around. So while they're doing that and everything, and then they have a screen that reads the words of the songs and stuff, you know, so you stand up, you sing along and everything. But this one lady that was at the prayer meeting that I went to the Monday before that, she comes over, she grabs mine and my girlfriend's hands, and she said that the Lord wanted me to have you come worship with me. So she came, grabbed us, and brought us up to the front, you know, right up to the stage, and she said, you know, that we have to worship here. So we're standing there, you know what I mean, and she's saying her prayers for us and everything, and we're standing there and stuff, and my girlfriend's crying because she gets so emotional, but I'm standing there, and then all of a sudden she says to me, she says, I want you to meet someone. And we turn around, you know, while we're right up front, and standing right behind me is the lady who gave me the Bible. It was so crazy, such a crazy moment. Yeah, there she was. I'm like, oh my God. I said, do you remember me? You know, and she looked at me, and she wasn't sure. I said, you gave me a Bible, you know, in 2000. She's like, oh my God, you know, and then I told her, you know, I said, thank you, you know what I mean? I said, that's why I came here and everything, and I said, how much that means. She's like, oh my God, I'm so happy, you know. And then I looked, you know, I seen her when we all said hi to everyone and stuff, and she's just so smiley and so happy to see me there and stuff. So, but like her doing that back in 2017, you know, started me on this trajectory that brought me to that church, you know, that brought me to where I'm supposed to be, you know. So it's just crazy that like the Lord, you know, had told her to give me that Bible, and that's what kind of started everything out. So he's been trying to get to me for a long time. But like, just how amazing was it that at the moment, then this lady said, the Lord told me yesterday to go do this with you, you know, to bring me up in worship. And then at that moment, there she is standing behind me, and she looks so amazing too. Her name's Karen Macrina. She used to run the ministry for the Herkimer jail, and like, so I guess that she's had a lot going on or something, and that's why she hasn't been there. But there she was all of a sudden. Like, how crazy is that? So that was quite the moment for me. And then, you know, and then I attended the service and everything. And then today, this morning, you know, I got up, I rode my bike, 8:30 in the morning. I went to the church, and I sat in a prayer group. And it was me and 6 older ladies that were there, you know, and they're all regulars. They go there every single week, so they know each other very well and everything. But so I'm sitting there, and then, and they say prayers for a lot of people from the church and stuff. And one of the ladies that usually would be there, she's in like a care facility right now because she got sick and everything, and she's not doing very well. So they actually called her on the phone, and that lady is my daughter's fiance's grandmother. So that's a pretty small world as well. So I got to talk to her and everything, and she seems so sweet and such a nice person and stuff. So I don't know. So it's just crazy how this all comes together and how everything just kind of works and stuff. And it feels so amazing. Like it feels so amazing just to have like, okay, so now my life now is to lead a life that's pleasing to God. So at all times, you know, in my life, I keep that in mind, you know, is what I'm doing with this, please God. What I'm doing with this, please God. You know what I mean? I don't curse. I don't try to do anything negative. You know, I try to think of other people first. I try to do everything, you know, positively. I'm trying to create this channel to help others that were like me, you know, to show them a better way and everything, to show them all that. And just everything has been provided for me, just like God told me it would be. And it's such a better way to live. And every day I'm just trying to think of what can I do more and more to better myself. You know, this is what my life is now. What can I do to better myself? So today, you know, I got up, I went to the prayer meeting, then I went tanning because when I got my physical, because I went and got a physical first time in 10, 12, 13, 15 years maybe, I went and got my physical, and my vitamin D was low. So by going tanning, you know, I helped my vitamin D, plus it feels really, really good to go. And plus, I feel like it makes me look better. So that's something else I do to work on myself, you know. And now when I ride, I got an electric bike. But now when I ride my bike everywhere, I pedal it instead of using the electric part of it to make myself healthier there, you know. And then I come home, I clean my house. I went and did laundry, you know. And I'm trying to think of what else I can do. So I worked out. When I weighed myself today, I was the lowest weight that I've been since I got my scale about a month ago. So that was a really nice thing, you know. And I try to think of how much healthy stuff I can do. I hard boiled some eggs today so I could get good protein. And, you know, I made a really, really good, healthy smoothie. So these are all things I'm doing, and it feels so good to do all these productive things. You know, I try to think of what phone calls can I make that are going to help me, what other things. You know, I just got a new $500 credit card, so I can increase my credit rating and everything, because I need more available credit. So I got approved for a $500 credit card. You know, when I started out, my thing was very poor, but now I'm up to fair, you know, for my credit limit. So just working on all these things, and everything's just coming together and working so nicely and everything. But it's just, you know, what else can I do positive? What else can I say positive? You know, so I started watching. I watch all these motivational things and all these services and stuff, and I started taking notes and everything. So I'm going to make videos, you know, about some of these things that I hear and stuff. But another interesting thing that happened to me was while I was at work, my girlfriend stopped at my work, so I went out back. You know, I work at Yeti's in Herkimer. I went out back to go bring her money, I'm pretty sure, or help her with her window, because her window, it broke. It was not going up now, so I helped her tape it up. But while I'm out there, you know, all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, Gigi." And it was an old friend of mine, you know, who I've spent a lot of time with and everything. But all the time that I spent with him was, you know, you know, while I was an active addict, and he was as well. You know, now he's had some moments of sobriety throughout and everything, where I tried to support him and I tried to help him for, you know, just to encourage him during that, even though I was in active use. So I seen him, you know, and then I finished with my girlfriend. She drove away, and he's like almost gone, you know, and I yelled out his name, and I said, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" You know, when he came over, he's like, I didn't know if I should stop or not. You know, he's like, "I know how good you're doing." He's like, "You're doing so great." You know, he's like, "I'm so proud of you." He's like, "I didn't know if I should stop," or, you know, he didn't want to, like, just be negative for me in any way, you know. So he was thinking of me when he did that, you know. And he just told me, you know, how proud he was of me and how good I'm doing, you know, how good I look. And you know, and he just said that, you know, when he said, you know, we'll get together, he said, once I get sober, we'll get together, you know. So that's a thought for him, you know what I mean? But it was a really cool thing that, like, you know, I see him, and there's no thoughts for me of like, "Oh my God, I wish I was doing that," you know, because that would be it in the past. You know, I would see someone like that, and I'd be like, "Oh man, you know, I wish I had something," you know, or like it might make me think that. But it just made me think, you know, not that I felt bad for him necessarily, but it was just that I felt sad for him. You know, I felt sad that he doesn't have all the good feelings that I have, you know. And like, to see him, you know, he's out in the cold and everything, you know. I mean, when he's okay, you know what I mean, because he's going to get drugs, or he's on drugs, whatever it may be, you know, so he's not really thinking about that and everything. But I just thought, like, no matter if he was doing good or bad in that life, I would still feel sad that he's in that life, you know what I mean, and he's going through all those struggles, and he doesn't know what it feels like to feel like I feel right now. You know, so that was a part of it that, you know, I felt sad for him. I didn't at all want to, you know, be any part of that life, you know what I mean. It really cemented in me, you know, that I am so past, you know, not that I'll ever be past it, but I really feel like I have no need for it anymore. I have no desire for it anymore. And I never thought that would be taken away from me. I never thought that desire would be taken away from me. So it's so nice to be able to say that, you know, and to be able to say that I like, you know, my life being of purpose now, and I like my life being of, you know, am I doing enough positive things, you know what I mean, instead of every day just trying to get through the day, you know, every day just being about, you know, a whole lot of nothing really, you know, if I look back on it and stuff. But so yeah, it feels amazing, you know, to be where I'm at right now. And you know, I'm coming up on a year, not till April 7th will be a year, you know, but it'll be March 1st is when I went to rehab last year. So we're getting somewhat closer to that, you know, when I made the first step, you know, to go down this path and everything, and to change everything. But, you know, it's been a lot of work, and I didn't know where it would go, you know what I mean. When I first made the call for rehab, I didn't know that it would end positively at all. I didn't know any of it, but I took a chance, you know, that I wanted to do something different. And I really thought, like, I didn't want to be done, but I wanted to get better for my daughter. I wanted to give myself a chance, but I didn't really know how this would all go. I really had no idea. I just knew I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, and I just knew that there wasn't a lot of hope for me, you know, any way I was going in that direction. You know, when I found out my daughter was getting married and everything, and she told me that and stuff, you know, I'm like, oh, great, now she's going to be getting married. You know, the one thing I wanted to do was be a part of her wedding, you know, because I missed all of her adult life, and now she's getting married, and I have any of 6 warrants out there. You know, I have any of 30, 40 misdemeanors, 4 felony charges against me. Like, so I'm just waiting to get picked up on any of these charges at any point in time, and gonna go to jail for God knows how long, you know, and not be anywhere near what I want to be by the time her wedding comes, you know, like I don't want to go to her wedding just getting out of jail, like I'm fresh out of jail, you know, or else I don't want to go to her wedding, you know, being an addict still, or anything, you know. So I knew that I wanted to be better, and I needed time to do that, you know, and I knew I wanted to look good, I wanted to get my teeth fixed, I wanted to do all these different things, you know, so I could be there, and I wanted her to be proud to have me there. I wanted to do something that would make her really okay with me being there, instead of it being uncomfortable that I was there, you know. So I've really put all the work in, you know. I addressed all my charges, I addressed everything, you know, and everything has went, you know, like better than I ever could have imagined, honestly. And it's all because of, you know, the guy upstairs. It's all because of God, you know, because once I put my trust in God and I turned my life over to Him, and I turned, you know, my life into about leading a life that He would be proud of and everything, and trying to make Him smile, and trying to make Him happy on a daily basis, you know, that trying to show Him glory and show Him respect and show Him appreciation for creating me, appreciation for creating this world for us to live in, you know, and for everything that He's created for us, to show Him appreciation of that. That's what I've tried to do, you know, daily now. And when I pray to Him daily, you know, I pray multiple times a day now. And I say, you know, please help me to develop my relationship with you, make my relationship stronger with you on this day. Help me make a difference in someone's life today. Help me have a day that I am the best version of myself today. These are the things I say, you know. Help me meet people, or help me develop relationships with people that will be good for me. Help me have those kinds of relationships. So, you know, now I have a church that I go to where everybody recognizes me now when I go in there. People are glad to see me when I go in there. I feel comfortable going to a prayer meeting with 6 older ladies that run the church, that have been there for years, and they're actually happy to have me there, you know. And like, it's amazing feeling. Like, I cannot express to you the amount of fulfillment that I'm getting out of this and everything, and trying to do everything. You know, when I got my apartment in September, I had nothing. I moved in here with nothing. Now my apartment is so full that I need to upgrade to a new apartment because I have so much stuff, you know. I had one duffel bag of clothes. Now I have 2 racks of clothes, and I have like hanging sweatshirts that just zip up, that there's like 12 of them. I have a circle thing with sweatshirts. There's probably got 30 of them on there because I like sweatshirts and stuff. I got my wall of hats. You know what I mean? Everything's came very, very well, you know. Like, a lot of it, I buy stuff at Goodwill. I buy stuff cheap, you know what I mean? I'm not paying full price for anything ever, but I'm getting everything the right way, you know what I mean? I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking anything I shouldn't have. I'm not stealing anything, you know. I'm not getting anything illegally, you know. I'm doing everything the right way, so it feels like it's really mine, and it feels like I'm going to have it forever, you know. So it's all good things, all good feelings, you know. Not being worried about, you know, am I going to get picked up on my warrants today? Not worried about, you know, oh, am I going to get drugs today? Am I going to feel okay today? Not worried about any of those things. Just worried about, what can I do to make myself stronger today? What can I do to make myself better today? What can I do to learn more today? What can I do? You know, these are the things I worry about now. I worry about, you know, did I work out enough today? Did I do, you know, all these things, you know, that I'm really trying to focus on. Did I make sure all my bills are paid? Did I, you know what I mean, do enough in all these directions? You know, this is what I worry about, you know. Like for the longest time, the only TV I had was like a streaming service where someone else gave me a password. You know, now I have access to every streaming service that there is because we watched, you know, a lot of shows and everything. But I got to kind of fall back from that a little bit because I do think I put in too much time on TV, and there's other things I could do more productively. But everything's like really, really nice. I don't know, that's all I can say. Really nice. You know, I try to wake up as early as I can to start my day, you know. And I try to make healthier. I try to get as healthy as I can with my coffee, but I like having coffee. But everything's really good, you know, and I encourage everyone, you know, that was like me, everyone that's still struggling, you know, if you see this video right now, you know, right now is a time that you can make a decision. Right now is a time that you can say, you know, I don't want this life anymore. I need to do something to change, and you can start along the process, because you gotta, like, just keep going in the same thing. Nothing's ever gonna change, you know, if you just keep going along. It's always going to be that, you know. Do you think all of a sudden you're going to flourish? You know what I mean? Like you've struggled for years, you know, in this life, getting little bits of stuff here and there, or whatever, you know, trying to keep your mind okay, you know, with what you're doing and everything, being away from your family, being away from whatever you're away from, you know, doing whatever you have to do to get your substance, you know, just trying to be okay with that, you know. Now is the time you can just make a decision and say, okay, I'm going to make the call to rehab, wait your run, they'll come get you within 3 days, and then just start the process, you know. I addressed all my charges, I addressed everything from there, I wrote all the courts, you know, I started everything, you know. From there you can go on to another program, you can go on to a halfway house, they'll help you with all that, they'll make sure you have a place to go, they'll make sure, you know what I mean, that, like, they'll get you on your meds, they'll get you started in all the right directions, you know. But you got to make that step, you got to do that for yourself, and you got to want to do that for yourself. So just a couple little things that I heard, though. Giving into self-pity never leads to progress. Okay, so that's kind of, if you give in to your self-pity, you know, if you say, woe is me, you say that the world is out to get me, everything's so bad for me, instead of, you know, like when I was in jail, I heard, when I would go to the meetings and stuff, I would hear the people say, well, I can't get a job when I get out, no one's going to get a felon job. You know, you can't say things like that. You can't be thinking like that, because then no one is going to give you a job. If you already have that mindset in your mind, nothing's going to happen for you. But you got to say, okay, no, this is going to be different. You know what I mean? I'm going to charm someone so good that they're going to have to give me a job. I'm going to do this so good that they're going to have no choice but to give me a job. I'm going to be such a big, great person that they're going to see me and they're going to give me the job. You know, these are the things you got to think to yourself, and you got to start believing them in yourself in order to accomplish these things. So those are the things that you really have to do. You know, I started to do that really heavily when I was in jail, say that, okay, everything's going to go great. Now, everything did not go great, but I held on to my faith and I didn't falter. I did not pick up substance. I did not use, you know what I mean? It took some time for everything to fall into place, but it was all a trial. They were all trials for me to make sure that I could do what I was doing, you know, and everything fell into its place exactly how it was supposed to, and that's where I'm at right now. So that was one thing, but you can't look at your past. You just can't feel bad for yourself for anything. You have to stand up. You have to be a man. You have to be a woman. You have to stand up, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to know that you can do these things. You can't even give self-pity even a thought, because once you do that, then you're letting failure in. You're letting in the thoughts that it's not going to work. You're letting in the thoughts that you can't do this. You're letting in all those things by having self-pity. So self-pity, it never leads to progress. You can never progress if you have self-pity. I believe that to be true, okay? So you would rather invent an enemy than deal with your own insecurity. So I thought that was a cool thing that I heard. You would rather invent an enemy than deal with your own insecurity. So we all have insecurities. We all have things that we think about ourselves. We all have this. So in order to not deal with them, a lot of times, you know, you come up with an enemy, your parents, you know, your whoever, you know, like, for me, I didn't like who I was, so as soon as my daughter lashed out at me, as soon as she did that, you know, I created her into being, okay, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that all, and I'm going to say that it's all on her, because she didn't, you know, she said whatever she said to me, so there's no point in me doing this, you know, because why am I doing it? Because I'm doing it for her, that's what I'm thinking, but she doesn't ever care that I'm doing it, so what's the point in doing it? No, you have to do it for yourself. And you have to deal with your insecurities. You have to deal with them. You know, I always hated that I was Asian. I didn't like it at all. I always thought it was the worst thing in the world. You know, but now I absolutely love it. I'm so proud of it. And, like, I am completely okay with it. I like the person I am today. I like that person. So I had to come to deal with my insecurities, you know, and you can do that through many different ways. You know, it's not easy by any means, but instead of creating enemies, just deal with them. Instead of having it be on someone else, having things be someone else's fault, just deal with them yourself and address them and get past them. You know, that would be my best advice with that. So, and the last one I have is out of difficulties grow miracles. Okay, so I believe that right now I'm a miracle because I never thought that I could be better. I never thought I would be sitting in a prayer group of 6 older ladies at a church and be part of something like that. I never thought that. I never thought that I would be welcome somewhere like that. I thought that I screwed up my life so bad that no one would ever look at me in a good way like that. You know, that no one would ever be comfortable with me in a room like that, you know, and be happy that I was there, you know, yet alone people that are believers in God in the way that they are, you know, to where they're running a church. You have everyone there that's part of the church that does things for the church, you know, but yet they're happy to have me there, and I feel like I belong there. That's the biggest thing. I feel like I belong there. So out of difficulties grow miracles. So anyone who's an addict out there, that is a difficulty. That is something that you've been, you know, that's grown up in you, like however you became an addict, whatever it is that you did, you have a chance to overcome something. You have a chance to beat something that 99% of people probably do not beat. So be that miracle. Be that person that does it. You know, you have an opportunity to do something big. You know, you have an opportunity to do something that no one thinks that you can. You know what I mean? Like you have, it's kind of like, it's not a cool thing that you're an addict. It's not a cool thing for everything that you've been through, but it's a cool thing that you can change that. It's a cool thing that you can be stronger than everybody else, that you have a chance really, really, really to impress people, really to just do something like bigger than big, you know what I mean? You think of people that like beat cancer, that get through this and everything, they're like so like, you know, like, I'm so happy for you, you know what I mean? Like, you're so proud of them that they did that. It's such a big moment. You know, addiction is, I'm not going to say it's the same thing as cancer, but you're beating something that's just as big, and you have less or more control over it. You know, it depends how you look at it, but it could be harder or less hard. I don't want to speak on like cancer because I know how bad I've lost family members to cancer and everything, and I know how terrible of a thing that is. But I mean, addiction, like, I've lost many more people to addiction than I have to cancer. You know, it's taken many more people out of my life than cancer has. So, you know, it's something that no one is expecting you to do. No one thinks that you can do. No one believes that you can do. But you have to believe it yourself, and you have to want it yourself, and you have a chance to impress everyone. You have a chance to perform a miracle. You have a chance to do that, you know? So, I don't know. I hope that everyone who sees me and everything, I know that I get kind of corny with everything now. I know, like, I'm a completely different person. I go to church. I do all these other things now. But I don't even care that I'm corny. I don't care that I'm not the cool guy that I always tried to be. You know, that I tried to be Geo. I tried to be this, you know, cool guy like everyone liked. I tried to like impress everyone and tried to always like dress flashy. Tried to always have the cool thing. Tried to always do da 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 da. You know, be the coolest always. Like I always wanted to do that and everything. But like, I don't even care that I'm corny. I don't care that I'm proud of who I am now. I'm proud of who I am. I wasn't proud of who I mean, I guess I was proud at that moment, but I knew it wasn't something I could be proud of forever. You know, I knew that, like, while I'm, like, big deal, everyone wants to see me because they want drugs from me or whatever, I know that that's not something I'm going to talk to my children about. I know that that's not something I'm going to talk to my family about. I know that that's not something I'm going to take to the grave with me and be happy the last 30 seconds of my life about, you know, that I sold drugs to this person or this person or this person let me buy drugs from them and they're the coolest and all that. I know that those aren't things I'm going to be thinking about the last 30 seconds of my life, but me with my relationship that I have with God now, I sure as heck I'm going to be thinking about that. And now with the relationship I'm developing with my family and with my church family and stuff, these are the things that are going to matter. You know, I watch these people at the prayer meeting, prayer for all these people at the church and stuff. They care about them so much, you know. But I watch these addicts die and people can't be bothered to go to their funerals. Can't even be bothered for them. But these people at church are praying for someone that, you know, that their cat died or that, you know what I mean? Like they're really care about people. They care about people in a completely different way. So it's a whole different world and it's a whole different life. And I'm happy to be I'm proud to be a part of it, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. And I wish that everyone could get here and everyone could feel how I feel right now, because it really does feel so great. And I don't know, I hope that everyone who has, you know, suffered like I suffered, who has been part of that life, especially people that know me and know my story a little bit, know anything like that. I hope that they can see this and that they can really think that this could be something that would be great for them too, because they probably know how sincere of a person I am and how emotional of a person I am and how driven of a person that I am, whatever it is I'm going for. So I love everyone. Remember that it's nice to be important, but it's really important to be nice. So everyone have the best day, blessed day. I love y'all. Bye, everybody.